Hey guys, LechK here, another video of the Sauna Build. In this video I want to show you how to make a custom bench for your sauna. This one's already done. I'm going to show you guys specs, measurements, what to cut, how to cut it, and show you guys how to install it on the other side. First I'll give you guys a close-up of this one, and then let's get started. So the bench is out of cedar. I didn't have enough cedar to make the benches. I had to cut 6-inch boards into these strips. They are about 2.75 inches each. I did the little edge cut, which I'll show you guys in a minute. And then I'm using stainless steel screws to screw it down. I did a little lip here as well for the overhang. That's what it looks like under. And then this triangle support beam can hold all the weight you need it to hold. I have regular beams on the sides, over there, and then 2 in the middle, and that will be plenty to hold 4 people or so. I'll show you guys. I have about 5.5 6-inch boards, so I'm cutting them into halves for the strips for the benches, basically, to have a nice looking bench. Then I'm getting a nice edge finish with the planer, just cutting it on a 45-degree angle, and then we'll just sand it with some 220 sandpaper, and we'll be good to go. So the boards are prepped, ready for install. About 2.75 wide, with 1 inch thick. These are basically all the pieces you're gonna need to set up your support. I had originally gonna use these for my benches. It's kiln dried 2x8, but I cut that into 2.5 inch 2x4s, you could say. And the idea is this: side walls will just have the straight beam sitting, and then for the middle, this will give you solid support for the middle of the bench. These are all 45-degree angles. This one on the long edge is 23.5. This short one is 13 on the long edge, and then all the straight ones are 17. So let's install them and get to our bench. Alrighty, since I have a laser, I'm using a laser, but basically you can level it. I'm making my bench 39 inches off the ground. So that's where the top of my support beam is going here. Well, actually it's 38 because I'm putting 1 inch beam on top of it still. But about there, I feel like it's a good height, especially if you want to add a bottom bench, which I'm planning to. So 17-inch pieces like I mentioned. My bench will be 18 inches total because there's a 1-inch lip in the front. So I'm just going to line it up right here with my line. Just going to hit it with the nail gun to hold it. And if you don't trust the lasers, you can always grab your level. And now I'm using 3 or 4-inch screws. I have 4-inch, so I'm going with that. And I already marked where my studs were as well, which is important. I am going to pre-drill this, as these are bigger screws. I don't want to crack it. So yeah, took a level, I marked where my studs are so I can securely secure it. So here, technically, you don't need the extra support. Then just for fun, couple 3-inch screws in the middle here. That's not going anywhere. Now we can move on to our triangle setup. So I'm doing 2 supports in the middle. I'm just going to mark it with my pencil in case my laser gets blocked. And now I'm going to start the small piece here. That's not going flush here because I'm doing the top of the 17-inch piece above the laser line. So I want to be like right here. I got my studs already marked. Make sure you're screwing into the studs and your walls, not just the boards. That's what's going to be holding the studs, not a little board. Okay, so good there. Just going to fit it with the nail to hold it. Yeah, that's perfect. And now we can screw this in. Don't go with your screws too high because you gotta screw screws from the top later. I'm doing 2 for now. I'm gonna be doing a 5-inch screw this big boy through here and through the other beam. And that should do it. Well, technically we have the space. I'm gonna pop in another one. Attach our top piece. I'm going to go on an angle here. Put one more. Just do a 3-inch. Check my distance. It's not really a crazy big deal, but I just want to be accurate. And now this guy. So this will sit just like this. Make sure I'm level here. Okay. Four-inch. Here I'm going with the 5-inch screw. I want to get into the wall with this one. support. All the pressure goes on it. So this is the one you want the most secure. And this one's straight into the wall. And that will work. Move on to the next ones. And then I'll show you guys the bench. And then this is basically your support structure for the bench. You could run a beam all the way across to sit on, but it's not necessary. This is more than enough, guys. And I did add a little support piece here on the cedar side because I had one there because I don't have enough 2x4 studs in the walls to support it securely there. So I just wanted to match it on this end. But now we can start putting up the bench. I'll show you guys the pieces I cut. That's the idea right there. I'll show you guys a little bit of what I have to do from the rough cut lumber we got. And we're gonna do an edge here first. Originally, I'll show you guys a picture in a minute. I had this at the edge and then this was gonna go over it. But I'd rather have this on top. It just gives it a nicer finish. So I'll show you guys what it looked like before. And then we'll do it the right way from the start here. And if you guys were interested in the laser I'm using, this is the model right here. I did a whole review on it, which I'll put a link if you want to check it out. But it's a great laser. Helped me tile the floor here already. And it's half the price of all the fancy brands. Okay, so before we do the outside strip and the first strip of the bench, I did cut out of cedar 2-inch cover strips to cover the pine brackets we did here, just so it looks better through the bench, and also when you're sweating, you're hitting the cedar and not the pine. You know, extra little touch there. So plus this brings it to the height I actually wanted it. I'll install those. Just when you're screwing them in, make sure you pre-drill them. It's a thin board, you don't want to crack it. And also that the screws will be under your bench strips, so they're not visible in the cracks here. It's just a little extra touch, and also they're not in the way of this one. These I just measured in the middle of each beam. Okay, so now we can install the outside lip. I did pre-drill my holes 1/8 inch bit. Measure spacing where I want to be. These I'm drilling just into the pine board, not into the cedar. And then this top board is going to go drill on top of this one. So first we'll do the wall piece, trim, and then we'll do the top board. And these are the screws I'm using. I'm going to use it for all the bench stuff. Stainless steel, picked them up at Home Depot. I'll put a link below. Got a nice finish, so it's not too bulky. 2 1/4 inch. Basically, you want to make sure you're flush here. These I'm going to lower my bit. Power 1 on my drill. 2 is too powerful, goes right through. All Alrighty, so for the first piece that's going to go over this lip here as well, we're drilling holes here for 1/2 inch and then 2 inch, so we have nice even spacing. That way I can drill it into the middle of the beam. So we're going to line it up, pre-drill our holes with the same screws, screw it in. Make sure it's nice and flush. I'm also going to measure middle here and put a screw or 2 in the middle into this beam here. I'll finish the 2 sides and then I'll show you guys how to lay the next strips. Okay, so now for the spacing of where to drill your holes. Basically I'm measuring in the middle of the board. It's a 2.75 inch board, so a little bit less than 1.5 inches will be the middle. I already marked the markings on my square here, so it's easier for me to measure from each to the next. And then I have my spacer, which is a little bit like a line over 1/4 inch to give me nice spacing, and that will be enough to fit the 6 boards in perfectly. So I'll show you guys the first couple of boards, and we're almost there. So I'm gonna line all the screws up in the same row so it's nice and even. I'm gonna pre-drill every hole so I don't damage any of the wood. Pop in my spacer, push the boards together, mark where I'm gonna drill it. Our stainless steel screws. Still hold the board so your space doesn't get messed up. That's it. Next. These boards do like to flex one way or the other, so the spacer helps you keep everything nice and even. Now we just move on to the next board and keep going. Just a quick peek for the last board. As you see, these cedar boards love to flex, so it's pushing away from me. So I made myself a little wedge. And now I know exactly how much I need to push it in. There we go. And there you go, guys. This is how you assemble the bench. I'm hoping this was helpful for you. Stay tuned, there's lots more of this build coming, and so now technically we'll be done soon. Next I'll be doing the door, so that's going to be custom built as well. But I'm hoping this was helpful. Any questions, comments, let me know. And grand opening very soon. Please subscribe, follow, come back for more. Okay, so we got the bottom bench done as well. I didn't do a whole how-to video on this part, but it's pretty simple. I'll show you guys how the other one is. But that's basically the setup. Solid. It sits on this groove here. See, this intersects right there. And if you don't want to use it, you slide it in. And then it's out of the way. So let me show you how the bench is basically set up from the bottom. This is the groove I was talking about. Little support here, as we don't have metal support. It's a little reinforcement for the bench here. And then this, so our legs don't come apart. One inside and then one on the outside to keep everything in place. Simple step, nothing crazy. And that's it. That's our bottom bench. Let's keep going. But pretty much the interior is almost done. Just gotta do the vent. Gotta put the door in that we just made. Finish the trim here. And we can start working on the little change room area here. All right, stay tuned.